Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man, let's talk about a little bit more in detail. I spoke on it last night, but I mean, why you could be getting better fights. You know, it's more about Al and Espinoza and all that type of stuff, man. So, this truck driver, he in a tight spot in front of me. All the time, as soon as it's time to get off, he whipping it though. That shouldn't be so hard to drive. That's a straight truck. He whipping that hoe though. Whipping that bitch. I'm about to get the hell up out of here. I can figure all that out later. Got 2 FedEx trucks. Ton of shit. Dude's trying to talk to the FedEx girl at the job. One of the FedEx drivers let them know that she might not be going that way. You know what I'm saying? But you know how it be though. You know, they still, them type of women still gotta have it though. They be the culprit, they be the main culprits in cheating. But nonetheless, totally different conversation. But But yep, they beefing. A lot of people keep asking me why they beefing. So you gotta understand, everybody don't see the live show, right? And everybody don't see every clip from the live show. When I figure out how to edit the live show and turn into different topics, I got some stuff coming up for the channel. It may be sooner than later, or later than sooner. I haven't really decided yet. But I got some things in motion. Where it might just go to one show. I might just do one show a day. And when I learn how to chop it up and edit it and all that type of stuff, then we'll be Gucci, right? But that take time too. So it might be one show a day, and I might just do like a couple videos what's going on in hip hop. I haven't really decided, but like I said, that's probably later than sooner. Because how I'm gonna set it up, I gotta put a lot of things in motion, right? So nonetheless, right now, you ain't heard really nothing about a fall schedule. Nobody really releases fall schedule yet. The Zone got Conor Ben, Chris Eubanks. I don't have it in front of me. As you know, PBC puts all the money up for Fox, and they pay Fox for production, so Fox puts no money up for the PBC fights there. That's why most of that shit go on pay-per-view. So you see, you got the Wilder card fight. You haven't seen nothing announced in October yet. And we coming up on the next couple weeks, we should be close. I mean, I think we're around, not counting this week, we're around 5 weeks out into the fall. So fall is the premier, time of the year for sports, for boxing too. So right now, apparently Espinoza and Al Haymon is also affecting Crawford and Spence. Bad timing. And people say, well, why don't Al Haymon just take the fight over to Fox? And you just say to yourself, if Fox, that's not going to say the Fox deal. Fox is done with PBC. They already probably got programming ready to replace it. So there's no point in giving the best platform, the best fight in boxing, in a lot of people's opinion, to Fox, which they're not going to be around. All right, there's no point in giving that fight to Fox because there's no relation. Now, one thing I can say about Showtime, that Showtime PBC deal that was announced, it ended last year. So, I mean, I don't know if they signed a deal and didn't reveal the terms. Dates are shrinking. Some are always light. They had a hot spring, but it's shrinking. It wasn't hot enough. It was the beginning of April with Lubin and Fondor, and it ran through about the Benavidez kind of fight. Charlo was in there, and it kind of sparked off. But right now, Espinoza tired of second-rate fights. You got to understand, Jermell Charlo Castanos wasn't a top-rate fight. It was supposed to be Charlo go through the motions, get this little-known Castano up out of here, and the rematch did really good numbers, right? And they want big, from my understanding, they could be a little bit wrong, they want big fights on on their platforms. And how you know they fights not hitting like that? CBS not putting no money up, right, to close the gap. And CBS, which is just all the same Viacom, Showtime, PBC is not getting invited to put shows on the CBS platform or on the BET platform or syndicated through CBS, BET, Nickelodeon, like the BET Awards and MTV Awards. You know, they're not being invited to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like in the job process, or you have not been selected for the next step. Hey, they're not being invited to the next step. And the numbers are disappointing and disappointing and disappointing. And I posted in the community tab the other day, comparing it to the numbers in other sports. You know, basketball, you know, ain't doing too good neither. Hockey is the one that's on the rise. Baseball, I'm pretty sure nobody watches baseball. But like baby boomers and maybe the generation right before, you know, before the baby boomers, maybe too. But my generation and on up don't watch that shit. Just being honest. So right now, they over, you know, they got an issue over product. And if Al Haymon do deliver a top product, it's going on pay-per-view. So once again, like I said last night or the other night, how do you continue to grow the platform on pay-per-view? You can't. Only way you can grow a fighter, because I can buy pay-per-view without buying Showtime. They want to grow the Showtime platform. You know what I'm saying? And if so be it, a fighter growing that Showtime or Viacom platform, right? If it grows on that platform, cool. And then it goes to pay-per-view, we're fine. They're fine with that. But just throwing niggas on pay-per-view and they never had a top-notch fight on the Showtime platform, it's not what they had in mind. Damn nigga. That's not what they had in mind. You know? So, that's the issue. That's the issue. Right now, before these fights, they just throwing fighters on pay-per-view because the money, when you go on pay-per-view, it's over the budget for the promoter and the television network. Usually more the network than the promoter. The budget is too much. So when you say you can't afford Ortiz and Martin, and we know Fox ain't putting nothing up, or you can't afford Errol Spence or Dennis Ugas, you know what I'm saying? Errol Spence ain't really had no marquee fight. He never did. I don't think he ever did $1 million on Showtime. These fighters are able not to, and he fought on multiple networks too. These fighters are able to not fight a marquee fight and go on pay-per-view, and Showtime say, well, where are we benefiting at? We paying top dollar for, you know, Spence and Lamont Peterson and Javante and Gamboa. And you can listen to Leonard Ellaby and them motherfuckers if you want to. Excuse my French. You can listen to them all if you want to, all day and 2 times on Saturday night. But listen to me, them fights they lose, they bleed money. Nobody's happy. Nobody's building a rapport. They're not building a fan base for PBC. They're not building Patreons on PBC. Their retention rate is trash. It's trash. Man, dude. I do not want to go down 6 miles. Hopefully I won't have to. But their retention rate is trash. Nobody's happy. Thank God. Nobody's happy. So the fans are not happy. No matter, you get these little dumb fans that feel like this is a great product and it's great and all that, man. These same black fans that don't put no money up. You know? Them ones. The one that talk the big talk but don't purchase shit. Purchase a t-shirt with a shark on it and now they big spenders. Not them. You know, you take a couple pisses squirted in their face and they be happy. Cause they don't know what steak look like. They don't know what filet mignon look like. Shit, they don't even know what Texas Roadhouse look like. Cornballs, right? All right, but then You say the network not happy. Guess what? I'm not benefiting off of no viewership because you putting them in fights versus not interesting fights. There's no crossroad fights. Even on pay-per-view. Earl and Mikey Garcia, come on, what does that mean? Wilder Ortiz 2, what does that mean? Other than Wilder and Ortiz 1? Come on, no, they're not benefiting. You need more of those fights. A fighter need about 4 or 5 of them fights before he get on pay-per-view. You know, a lot of them fights. I mean, 4 and 5 might be light. You look at Errol Spence. What do you do to get on pay-per-view? He had a tough fight versus Kell Brook in the middle of the day where everybody on the weekend at work or enjoying the streets. When the weather was finally breaking, who the fuck was staying at home for that? Come on, he fought Ocampo in the one rounder. Come on, fought Peterson. That dude should have been fighting Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman on regular platforms, bare minimum regular Showtime, and they wouldn't be fucking complaining. They wouldn't be complaining. Jermell Charlo fighting Jared Hurd on regular platforms. Tony Harrison, it was on regular platforms. They wouldn't be complaining. They would not be complaining, y'all. You know, they would not be complaining. Who else you got? You know, Wilder Ortiz 2 should have been on regular platform. You know, Fury Wilder 1 would have greatly benefited probably from a regular platform. The rematch probably would have did a million. Easy. All right? Accessibility, bro. I mean, who other fighters they got out? I can't even think of no other fighters they got over there right now. Gervonta Davis. Gary Russell. It ain't got to be the toughest. Tevin Farmer. Gary Russell. But Joseph Diaz. You know, he ain't fighting nobody respectable. You know, then maybe, you know, a couple other, maybe Haney in there, Shakur in there, something like that, or Ryan Garcia in there. Then you can put them on there. They trying to skip the phase that build champions. That build real, not just for belts, that build, you know, the heart of the champions. You know? So they trying to skip that phase. They trying to skip that phase, but you know that builds character. That builds boxing character. That builds boxing character. You know, and right now they not getting that, bro. They not getting those fights that get you the pay-per-view. And they tired of getting these tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying? These BS mandatory fights that the promoters really ordering and stuff of that nature. They tired of getting that. They tired of, they want them real fights. That build boxing character, that build real champions, that defend their title. They want those type of fights. And I just gave you examples of what those things would be. And they perfectly fine if everything goes well and hit right. They perfectly fine putting them dudes on television. I mean, putting them on pay-per-view because it's gonna make sense then. You build your rapport up. You fight consistently. You building a rapport. You fighting consistently. You building a fan base. And one thing about building a fan base, it's about the consistency. That's what it's about. It's about the consistency. Think about it. If I know where to find you every day, if you slanging t-shirts, take my shoes off. I'm gonna take my shoes off in the middle of the road. You know, and you slanging t-shirts, and I know, I like the quality of shirts, man. I know you're gonna have something good, something different. I know what to expect. And I know where to find you. Guess what? I'm gonna tell a friend. He gonna tell a friend. You consistent. I know where to find him at. You gonna boom. You gonna knock it out the box. You gonna be booming. You gonna be booming. If I don't know where, if I don't know where to find you, here some days, or you hear other days, you hear Fridays, and some days you hear Monday, and it ain't a consistent schedule, of course you're not gonna build no fan base. And it's not nothing. It's not a quality. It's not a beyond quality product. How many these new PBC dudes, these new ones, really got classics on, or close to classics where everybody can see them on television? None of them. Al Haymon get the most out the network, or pay the most dollar for the fight. He pay the most money for a fight, right? Pay the most money, right? For the minimum risk. That's what it's all about. For minimum risk. He paid the most money for minimum risk. And that's what it's all about. And the networks are tired of Al Haymon promising big fights and not delivering them. And asking for a ton of money. Just like he asked $10 million for dudes to fight, for use Keith Thurman services. Like he turned down Conor Benn fight for Keith Thurman without Keith Thurman knowing. These dudes will probably take less money, but Al Haymon want to give you a subpar product for the most money. And the networks, he burned bridge with every network. I hope this the last one. I hope this the last network, bro. Honestly, bro, this a long green light, bro. Come on, man. This dude in this Prius is trash. The grade of driver out here is trash these days. Trash. But yeah. That's what he doing. And Showtime is the latest network in networks to get tired of it. And every network he pissed off is got affiliation to the network he probably can jump to. USA Networks, part of NBC. Pissed off NBC. Spike turned to Paramount. We know Paramount owned by Viacom. We know CBS owned by Viacom. We know Showtime, MTV, BET, and BET Plus, BET Jams, MTV Jam, whatever they call it, all owned by Viacom. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure TNT and them owned by somebody else he pissed off too. Pissed off Spikes, pissed off NBC, ESPN, Walt Disney, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, ESPNU, ABC. Come on, these niggas gonna be fighting on Netflix next? Come on, these dudes gonna be fighting on Netflix next. These dudes gonna be fighting on Netflix. So he burned this, probably his last bridge that he burned. This is probably his last one. But they not gonna pull out just that fast, neither. He gonna give him a couple. They gonna have to pull his teeth out his damn mouth. He gonna get him a couple fights that they want to see, and that's it. And it's gonna be the same shit when it's time to unveil the next schedule. So it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to notifications. We go live and drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJGood313, Venmo, CJGood313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, the whole nine. All that information is in the description. Want to donate, Cash App, $CJGood313, Venmo, CJGood313, PayPal link description. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.